Hi guys, welcome back to the Baseline. Thank you so much for joining me again. Hope you guys are having a great day, a great night, and a great life. So they called it a hostage rescue mission. But you don't fly 600 spy sorties over Gaza for almost 2 years just to look for a handful of hostages. You do that when you're part of the actual war. And now Britain's fingerprints are all over this, because while we were told that the UK had no role in Israel's military campaign, reports are now suggesting this, that the government wasn't just watching Gaza burn. It was actually filming it, mapping it, and feeding the coordinates back in real time. Remember the Shadow R1? That's Britain's top-tier spy plane, a flying nerve center that can pick up phone signals, heat signatures, and even ground movements through smoke and rubble. It's an amazing plane, an amazing spy plane. And according to multiple investigations, that same aircraft, and later a United States contracted version of it, has been making daily flights from RAF in Cyprus, circling Gaza for hours at a time. Now, here's the catch. Halfway to the strip, the transponder goes dark. There's no record, no accountability, just silence. And then explosions. Now, the Ministry of Defense insists that these flights are unarmed and purely humanitarian. But here comes the moral contradiction. One of the R1's core capabilities is to target acquisition, tracking moving vehicles, heat sources, and transmitting that data instantly. So if those feeds are shared with the Israeli military, even indirectly, the UK is no longer a bystander in this genocide. It's a participant. Imagine a man holding a flashlight for someone firing a gun and then saying, "I didn't pull the trigger." That's the logic that everyone's being sold right now. And the story, it gets stranger and stranger. Because in mid-2024, the UK quietly privatized part of its surveillance program, outsourcing to a Nevada-registered company called Straight Flight Commercial Leasing. The same flight path, same equipment, different flag on the paperwork. But why? Why is there a different flag on the paperwork? Because when a government wants to hide its fingerprints or wants to keep its fingerprints clean, it hires someone else to hold the pen. Now, MOD sources quoted anonymously that this contract was about concealment. So what does that mean? It shields the operation from freedom of information requests and keeps all the taxpayers in the dark. We're paying for missions we're not allowed to know actually exist. Now, that's not democracy, is it? That's theater. Because let's talk about those Israeli refueling planes. Investigators claim 9 Israeli Air Force tankers landed on UK soil between September of 2024 and June of 2025. These aircraft aren't passenger planes. They're lifelines for fighter jets. The reason those F-35s can stay airborne long enough to level city blocks. And if true, that means Britain has been quietly hosting the logistical heart of Israel's bombing campaign, while telling Parliament it's seeking de-escalation. It's like holding a garden hose while your neighbor burns down his house, and then calling yourself the actual firefighter. It's insane. And when journalists try to ask questions, the MOD's line was identical every time. For operational security reasons, we neither confirm or deny. Now, that phrase should terrify every democratic thinking person alive. Because the moment a government learns it can hide behind those 6 words, the truth stops belonging to the public. So let's pause for a moment. Let's take a breath and let's observe the timing. Look at the timing. When photos of starving children from Gaza flooded global screens, many nations pulled back. But the UK, what did the UK do? They doubled down. Not only did the flights continue, the operation was expanded under contract. So this is the moral paradox at the center of modern British power. We send aid by day and intelligence by night. We mourn the victims while mapping the coordinates. And it doesn't stop there. Parliament records confirm Labour ministers suspended arms licenses to prevent misuse. Yet Israeli military aircraft were reportedly landing at RAF Briz Norton, the same base Palestine Action later targeted for direct protest. So while the public thought Britain was pausing support, it may have simply rebranded it from bombs to bites, from exports to espionage. So let's zoom out for a moment again and take another breath, because there are 11 so-called RAF bases in Britain that are actually run by the United States Air Force. Weapons, logistics, encrypted comms, all moving through shared infrastructure. So what's the translation? Washington gives the order, London provides the runway. Now, if that sounds familiar, it's because this is how empire works now. Through plausible deniability. No declarations, no votes, no headlines, just quiet cooperation, right? Wrapped in national security. And the deeper truth is this. Britain's foreign policy is no longer foreign. It's franchised. Washington designs it, Tel Aviv executes it, and Westminster defends it. And the British taxpayer now bankrolls it. Now that's not a partnership, that's a capture. So here's a forbidden question, right? If Britain is gathering live intelligence used in airstrikes and hosting the planes that keep flying those strikes, how long before our ministers face the same courts investigating the people pressing the trigger? All right, guys, let me know. Do I have this all right? Do I have it all wrong? Please put your comment in the section below. I value your guys' opinion. And thank you guys so much again for watching The Baseline. All right. Cheers, everybody.